Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sheriff Hawks Gaming. Welcome, Dispatcher Money. You ready to write them tickets, are you? Okie Shuffle, welcome. Anybody lurking in the background, welcome. Listen, I was going to stream another episode of a game, but issues have arisen, and generally I ignore them for the most part until the issue makes its way over to me. And apparently, that issue has decided to make its way over to me. So, I'm here to discuss YouTube. We'll start with Backwoods Gaming. As you guys can see, it's on your screen. How much do you owe, Okie? Well, let's see. You scare the shit out of me a lot, which is actually kind of fun. Can't scare the shit out of me tonight, though. There's nothing scary, and there's not even a game, so ha ha ha. So, Monique, write him a $2 fine. But we'll start with Backwoods Gaming. As you guys can see, it has 24 subscribers, and that's okay because it's new. Okay? Well, yeah, I might because there's I still got to get back into that the evil within. I'm gonna start with part one because I have them both, and I guess two does refer to one. I noticed that during the Fright Fest that it actually does make reference to part one. Good game though, scary as shit. I'll say that for it. I have another one called Obsidio that I can't remember where it came from, but I got asked to stream it, and I'm like, well, I don't know, maybe. I've had plenty of suggestions. I really wanted to get back into a little Phasmo. You got more subs than Backwoods. So, well, okay, we're going to talk about that too because there's some things about YouTube I don't understand, and we're going to talk to them because, one, I think you should be much bigger than what you are. In my opinion, and it may not mean much to anybody, but in my opinion, you're a good streamer. I noticed in many times in YouTube, some channels make it, some channels don't. And look, I've been around for a long time, and I'm not even 500. Okay, so all you can do is keep streaming and keep trying to push as much as you can. I'm not sure how you push a channel with uploads. I guess in a sense it maybe it pushes itself. I don't know. I wish I did, but I don't. But I do think you're an excellent streamer. I think Donkey Punch is an excellent streamer. I think Venom is an excellent streamer. But I've never understood how, like some people go from 30 to 1,000 in just like, days. And then other people don't. And me, I kind of understand. If anything, I've always been a controversial kind of guy. Um, I think it's more because I'm very outspoken. I do not have a tendency to hold things in. And that could be too, Plexus Gaming, how have you been? I haven't seen you in a while. But welcome. I hope you're doing well, my friend. But we're going to talk a little bit about YouTube because I did get a notification and a DM. Last night was a busy night DM wise. We'll get into that. But right now, I want to, basically address the first one that I got, which was, hey, man, do you know 7 Days to Die is about to go 2.5 next month? Now, my first response was, yeah, because I literally seen, welcome back, Moni, I literally seen a person stream that and even what they were going to put in it. And after watching it, I think it was like 9 or 10 minutes, it wasn't a very long video. I realized it's going to be a large video, it's going to be a large update, and continuing the game you're in more than likely is not. You're going to have to start over. Now, then I got another message basically saying you don't have to update, but there's a problem with that as a streamer. When an update like that comes in, everybody wants to see the update. Like it's new and that's what they want to see. Now, that's not the only controversy. Sioki, you didn't know me about a decade ago, and if you did know me, well, trust me, you would know. I am not exactly the quiet guy. I'm not the guy that will not speak my mind. I'm the guy that will speak my mind, and I do that for a reason. It's because Sheriff Hawks is a character, but behind Sheriff Hawks is also a real guy that has to deal with real life and real issues, just like everyone else does. And I know that everybody that streams does the same thing, right? You're on stream, you're having fun, and I enjoy streaming. I do. I enjoy the fun. Will not be compatible. No, with the stuff they're adding in, I don't believe there's any way that once you upgrade to 2.5, you're going to be able to continue with 2.4. And 2.4 was so small, you really didn't need to go from 3 to 4. It's not enough in it to make a difference. It was basically just patchwork. In fact, I am currently still on 2.3 because once I read what was in it, I didn't see the need to go through that at all. Again, the only controversy is will you need depends or not. In some games, yeah, I think so. Christy, welcome. Some of them games literally, scare the shit out of you. One thing I did notice is every Sunday, as you guys know, I am on the Redneck Connection. I'm on that panel. We go on there and we talk about this, that, everything, and of course, sometimes nothing. It just depends, But I want to ask my people if he's going to do a raid to stick around and join the raid. Because that actually promotes the channel. And as you guys can see, it is new. I mean, if you look at the content, right, it's got 2 videos, 1 playlist. So, I didn't bother with it, Plexus, but, everybody's different. I looked at it because some people had an issue trying to continue 3 after 2.4. Other people, they didn't. So I guess it just depended on your computer or whatever the case was. I really don't know. It's hard to make a determination if you got some people that are having issues and then other people go, oh, I didn't have an issue at all, So it's really hard to get in there. KQOD Gaming, thank you. How have you been doing? You guys should check out KQOD Gaming. He streams some interesting games. I popped in on him the other night, and I apologize, guys. There's so many nights I want to pop in. Again, adulting takes place, and you can't just pop in. I've always been a fairly honest guy when it comes to streamers. If you're streaming a game I don't like, I probably won't pop in. And that's not me telling you don't stream the game, so don't take it that way. I think everybody should stream what they want to stream because it's their channel and they're having fun. So I don't want anybody to not stream something because it's not my kind of game. But I have a lot of respect for content creators because, I mean, man, it takes a lot of work to get up there and do it and everything else like that. I did like what he was streaming, though, KQOD. I loved what you were streaming. It was interesting, and I honestly never even heard of it. So YouTube runs on basically an algorithm of some sort. Please don't ask me because I'm not a professional streamer. Okay, I'm still learning stuff and at a slower pace than I would like to. And what I mean by that is if you guys go back and you watch Neighbors, you'll see on Neighbors where Jags's intro has credits on it, and I'm still trying to figure out how to put the credits on there. Because anybody that's in there deserves credit, and of course Tansy too, because she does an excellent job with music. And the thing is, she did it voluntarily because she likes the series, she likes the channels, and God bless her for that. She's a good person. She has a thing on Discord too where she does music, and quite frankly, between me, you, and a fence post, she is good at it. And I enjoyed it. Still do. I gotta clear my phone because if there's one thing my phone never does is shut up. It just doesn't do that. So, and I can't even tell what email this is. I got so damn many. I'm not going to delete them because they may not be mine. So, hello, Stacy. But Neighbors, guys, is now being moved over to Backwoods Gaming. I would like to find a way to take two recordings, kind of splice them together and create one. I think that would make more sense than doing the two. You know what I mean? Like watch his version, watch mine. If we spliced them together, you don't really lose any audio. The question is, how do you do that? And is it more time consuming? This is a busy week for Jags. He has lights to put up at work. That takes evening and all that other stuff that you got to do. So that's Backwoods Gaming, and I got a lot of concentration into it, especially with Neighbors and other series that I would love to do. Now, I'm not exactly happy with Neighbors, and we're going to get into that here in a moment. Because, like I said, I'm a very outspoken person. I'm never going to be that quiet guy in a corner. That's just not who I am. It's never going to, it's not in my personality to be that way. So we go here. Whoa, invalid. Unforward URL. Sorry, your login was, because I'm going from one to another, which means I have to actually restart it. I don't know why it does that. There is a way to fix it. The thing is, I haven't fixed it. So let's just do it the hard way, right? Yeah, but that's easy for you there, my friend, but not easy for me because where I now know how to edit and I do understand splicing. I know you don't lose. Yeah, I think it's moving it back and forth. It's the transferring of really large files to each other. That's what we need to figure out. Yeah, I agree with that. And I think we do. And welcome, Jags. I'm assuming you're probably out there in the, I don't know, it's probably not chilly where you are. I mean, living in the desert, I don't really know. Maybe not. So, but Backwoods Gaming is very important. The series is also, to me, very important. Normally, when things go awkward, I ignore them. All you need to do is attach the file to an email. That doesn't always work because that's going to depend on the size of the file, and I know that because I've ran into that. But that's the only way I know that. Last night, something popped into my stream that we're going to talk about today because I don't want to see that again. Ever. I have said this 3 times now. Believe me when I tell you, there is not going to be a fourth. We were just walking about, oh, you mean talking about you, but yeah, we was. Yeah, it doesn't work. Yeah, it don't. It depends on the size of the file. That's my understanding. Last night when I came in, started, I had, let me go to view my channel. There we go. My channel needs work, guys, because like the only link up here is a link I don't want up here. So, but in fact, I want to remove Bored Old Fart. Are we doing the family photo album now, Hawks? No. But I had 384 subs. And after about 9 DMs, which really kind of got under my skin, I'm not going to give you the names of the DMs that I got because to me, I'm not going to say any names at all. But here's what I'm going to say. The name of this channel is Sheriff Hawks Gaming. That's the name. That's the brand. The name of the character is obviously Sheriff Hawks, except there's two different Sheriff Hawks. There's the uneducated Sheriff Hawks that plays in Neighbors because it's a character. And then, of course, there's Hawks. Damn it, Hawks, I was looking at your suggested videos to see what kind of weird stuff you look at. I look at a lot of weird stuff. I'm not going to lie about that. But no, that I want those links to go to other channels that I do watch. Like, I do watch you, Okie. Sometimes I don't catch you live. In fact, most of the time I don't, but I do watch you. So I would love to have your link under, recommended channels. There's quite a few of you I would love to have under recommended channels. But here's what people don't understand, okay? There needs to be a separation between the characters and the channels. That's part of Backwoods Gaming, okay? Is because, like, I'm streaming 7 Days to Die Nord Army, which is hilarious because I can't figure that frickin' mod out for the life of me. I mean, everything wants to kill you in there. A rabbit? A chicken? I don't even know about snakes yet. I was kind of, walking near a deer in last night's episode trying to see if it would attack because I wasn't sure. First, let's be clear. I'm not angry at anybody. I'm not, because I don't think people do things on purpose, because sometimes I don't think people realize what they're doing. But there's a blurred line between the characters, the channels, and who's actually who. That cost me a sub. Now, I don't care about that either. I'm the first guy, and I've done this before, that's came on my channel live and told people, if you don't like what I'm doing, just take a moment, hit that unsubscribe button. Playing Fallout, yeah, I love Fallout, but I can't even stream that right now, especially Fallout 4, over some stupid update that they screwed up. And I'm like 20-something episodes in, too, Boof. Well, we're getting to that, but I want to do it in a way so people understand where I'm coming from. Not in a case of you're being attacked, because, look, this ain't about attacking anybody. It's about common sense in YouTube. Because believe me, when these messages come in, unfortunately, I read them. And I say unfortunately because sometimes what I read is like, do I really want to read this? And we won't get into that either, but if you're a streamer, you know this, and you more than likely had this happen to you. I don't discuss those because they're not that important to me. If I was there, I would try and get you too, LOL. Oh, you, well, hey, well, you're a serial killer though, MDK. What happened last night was suggestions that the sheriff just become the reverend. Now, what you guys don't realize is you're tying Neighbors into a channel that is literally named Sheriff Hawks. What do you think people popping in that channel see when they see that? You're basically telling them, don't subscribe to that channel. We need a new Sheriff Hawks. There's only one Sheriff Hawks. And guess what? It worked. I lost a sub. I don't even know who. Now that I think about it, I don't really care. When you're doing a show, guys, these are characters. Jags plays Jesse. Christy, she plays Ginger. Stacy plays Elaine. MDK plays Hoss. And then Sheriff Hawks is Sheriff Hawks, just a different version of Sheriff Hawks. So then the suggestion comes in, and people don't understand is there are other people that lurk. They're reading that chat. They may not talk in it, but they're reading it. I literally got told under the guise of a joke to change everything to Reverend Hawks. Now, this is done under the guise of humor of, well, we're just joking about Neighbors, except they're not watching Neighbors because I'm not streaming Neighbors. I am literally streaming 7 Days to Die, Nord Army. I have asked now 3 times for that to stop. I'm only going to say this once. The next person that comes into my chat and suggests that someone else needs to be sheriff, I'm going to ban you. Not 5 minutes later, immediately. There is a Sheriff Hawks. That is me. There is no compromise. There's no bargain for you. There's no bargain for anyone that don't like who I am. If you don't like who I am, go to that computer. It's up right now. And hit that unsubscribe button. If you want to be a part of this community, then be a part of the community. But I'm not changing my channel name to Reverend Hawks because you're telling a joke about a show that I'm not even doing. Now, there is problems with Neighbors. There's 2 problems. One, we have another episode coming up. I'm going to go ahead and edit it. But in the episode before that, I needed a garden built and I needed something built in the street. That's not done. It needs to be done. It's part of the story, and that's what nobody understands. Neighbors is a story. If you're in Neighbors, your job is to play the character. Not play the character based on who you like and who you don't like. I'm a very outspoken guy. I'm going to give it to you straight. I don't give a fuck who you like. I don't care. It's a character. You can like who you want to like. But when it comes to that show, you have a character to play. Play the character. I don't do characters based on a crush. I don't even care that a person has a crush. But if that's what all of this is over, you're going to have to stifle the crush. I don't mind humor. Anybody that knows me knows that. I love humor. Well, Boof, if I had you in there, I'd actually make you a mayor. I think you would be funnier than fuck as the mayor. I could actually see that working. Buff the mayor. As much of a smartass as you are, I could actually make that funny. Well, we won't get into that because I don't know why it wasn't built. It was discussed, it was supposed to be done, it isn't done. It was a key part of a storyline. That's part of my issue, is trying to keep the storyline going, only to have to extend the storyline because it's just not done. Okay, I know you're joking, but there's only going to be one sheriff. You can change your channel name to Sheriff Okie if you want. Megan, hello. And that's why we're talking about YouTube. It's called Blurred Lines, y'all. In real life, I got to deal with real life problems. We all do. And then you got YouTube, where I'm an entertainer, so you try to be as entertaining as you can. And sometimes you make it, and sometimes you don't. Some streams are great. Some streams you look back at it and go, shit, I could have done better, But then it gets blurred. And these things get blurred because, look, I don't get into people's personal lives. That's not my staves in this world. I'm not the judge. I'm not the jury. I'm not your executioner. Okay? I don't want to be any of those things. I want you to come in, enjoy yourself, and have fun. On the other hand, I'm not going to let you damage my channel or my character because you think you're funny. It's not funny if I'm not playing Sheriff Hawks in Neighbors. And if I'm streaming live, trust me, I'm not playing Sheriff Hawks in Neighbors. Here's what you guys don't know. My favorite thing to do is actually Sheriff Hawks in Neighbor. I love that character. I love Jags' character. I think you all do an excellent job in Neighbors. Every one of you. You get into your character and you play your character. But here's my question. Is all this happening because of a crush? We're all adults here. And yes, I'm going to bring it up. And I'm going to do it without bringing up names because I'm not out to embarrass anybody. I am out to end a problem. If you have a crush on someone, don't take this offensively. Get over it. Get over it. If your crush is interfering with a show because you can't concentrate on the show, get over it. I don't care about your crush. I don't want to talk about your crush. Come to think of it, I don't give two shits about your crush. None. But I do give a shit about that series, about the acting in it. Method acting is you get a character, you get a story, and then you use your character and you build that character. And you practice that character. And you respond the way you think that character would. But there's no character in there that suggests that the sheriff ain't the sheriff and, oh, I like Jags better because he's cute. And yes, I know that's what's going on. I'm not that stupid. So let's alter the storyline to my liking because I have a crush. One last time, get over your crush. Because if your crush is going to interfere with my channel, with my chat, and it's going to interfere with Neighbors, you're going to find yourself banned. It's no different than Backwoods Gaming. I love that channel. It's brand new. It ain't even off the ground yet. If you have a crush on me, Okie, you got the wrong plumbing. And keep it to yourself. I don't care if you like Jags better. That's the point I'm making. I don't care. Wait, what? Jags is cute? Oh, don't start, Kimmy. You're just trouble waiting to happen. We know you're that Scottish or Irish warrior. Oh, fuck, I forgot which one you are. Are you Irish or Scottish? What the hell? I done forgot. So, now here's the question. What do we do with Neighbors when 2.5 comes out? 2.5 does not. And I mean does not look like you're going to be able to continue. But there's another problem too. If you're streaming 7 Days to Die, and believe me, I thought about this when I got that DM last night. Like, what do I do? Because that would mean that if 2.5 is going to do what they think it's going to do, Harry, welcome. Kimmy, welcome. That means that the mods ain't going to work either. And it's nothing new, so I don't want everybody to think this is a panic situation. It isn't. I think on PC, because I've seen this a lot, every game updates, and sometimes the game don't affect a previous save, and then sometimes it don't. But I was listening to the content that they're putting in there, and it doesn't look like you're going to be able to continue.
Well, come on. You can get back up there. There you go.
It looks like you got to start over. But as a content creator, right? If I'm streaming 7 Days to Die, you get all these people in the audience, and they don't want to see the old version. The new just came out, and that's what they want to see. Now, the problem is, This isn't even 3.0. It's literally just 2.5. I do know the glasses are going back in. The smell's definitely going back in. They're changing two zombies. One's for sure. The other one maybe not until 3.0. When you do those things, just keep neighbors. And I'm on 2.3. I didn't go to 2.4, Tansy. But again, that's where the problem comes in. Is as I'm streaming, right? If I don't have the new version up, people leave. Like, well, I don't want to see this. I want to see what they put in the game. It's different as a streamer because you got to have content that someone's going to want to watch. And the issue is, and I know Neebs does it, but you got to understand, they don't stream the way a normal streamer streams. They are literally a cinematic preview, and I know I love that channel. I watch them all the time because they're funnier than hell. I love what they do. Sounds weird for a little bitty guy like me to even be shouting out Neebs, but to me, they're quality entertainment. I love what they do. Simple as that. But it's different, like if you're doing a live stream and I go, well, I'm just going to stick to this. And then I got people DMing me going, well, I want to see the new version. Are you going to stream that? You leave anyway? Well, thanks a lot, Kimmy. You just boosted my morale, Not that I have any anyway, because I don't. But I am going to ask my community, like if it's Sunday and we're over there and I'm talking with Ken and there's going to be a premiere afterwards, and he says, hey, man, I want to do a raid. Stick around and join the raid. Because when he does that, that's actually helping to shout out a channel that's new, okay? It means you're going over there anyway. Just wait a minute. Trust me, I think on these intros when you actually do a premiere, it goes on. Yeah, I could do that, except I'd have to. I mean, I could keep going back and forth. Um, but I don't know how long it would take. Like I think for other people that could be a problem. Like if you have one of them computers and it takes 2 or 3 hours to switch, trust me, you're going to get tired of switching really quick. But what I'm thinking, and I'm going to say this live on stream, Jags can DM me and let me know, is if it's going to do that in December, we get the storyline, well, we need it, and we move the story over to the next game. This way, everybody can go ahead and update their 7 Days to Die, and they don't have an issue. That's what I'm thinking. How did you, what's that way? Using YouTube. Oh, wait a minute. You can use YouTube to do that? You're going to have to show me that. Takes you like 2. You must have some damn good internet. I should have good internet, Tansy. But sometimes my internet is crap. Like, I got good speed. Getting them to maintain it, on the other hand, that is another story. It just doesn't always work out that way. If you're stuck on council where you can't, yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. Okay, I didn't even think about that. The council version looks good, but I'm wondering with some of these updates. I mean, I read a lot because I'm trying to learn stuff, but some counselors are having problems keeping 30 frames per second. They keep adding all this stuff. They're going to have to correct something. Oh, I know you was, Ken. I'm not. Don't take things personally. I'm simply explaining the view of someone that's streaming the game. It's nothing against anybody. I don't want anybody in here to think I'm mad at you. I'm not. I'm not mad at anybody. What I'm saying is you got to separate your personal life from the YouTube world. And you do. I know I do it all the time. Trust me. The things are tough here. You want to know what my personal life is? It's looking at how in the hell am I supposed to survive all this when we're still not back to work. And I think it's because they're trying to renegotiate the contract. Does that bother me? Yes, it does. Christmas is right around the corner. Can I survive it? Yes, I can. It's not that the bills can't be paid. That's not where the stress comes from, okay? And then you got life issues you got to deal with too. These issues don't take Sheriff Hawks, they take the man of the house. You'll be in your corner eating your crayons. But Hawks, YouTube is live. Is live. No. I wish it could be, but it can't be. All right? YouTube doesn't pay my bills. Um, why do you think I want so bad to hit 500? I figured if I could at least open up membership, it could help maintain the PC. But getting there is, well, that's another fucking story. I don't know how some channels do it when I just keep streaming. And maybe it makes it, maybe it don't. And I used to sit there and count it, and anymore I just don't pay attention because it's not worth my time. And I'm not going to give it my time because I don't see the need to do so. Uh, hmm, that is an idea. I'm actually going to run that by Jags because that would make sense. Um, yeah, now that she said that, I want some too. Yeah. Now, again, this ain't to piss anybody off, but for those that don't know me personal, as a personal person, not Sheriff Hawks, but as me, the man, I do not like drama, okay? I don't. I don't like drama. I don't like jealousy. In fact, I keep that away from my front door at any and all cost because I have other things to worry about. Drama's not one of them, and neither is jealousy. My version of jealousy is an ugly thing that people get into. Then my version of jealousy is, hey, stop what you're doing. That's my version. All right. Like I don't know. I call it problem solving, people. That's just what I call it. That's how I grew up. But I'm older, right? In this world, you got to be politically correct. I am not politically correct. I am the opposite of politically correct. I speak my mind because it's my mind. I would love to see every channel on YouTube succeed. I would, even the ones I don't like, because, I mean, they're content creators. They're not doing it for anything, right? They're doing it for something, and I hope they get something out of it. I do. They're putting in the time, they're putting in the work. I need to learn some things. I'm not going to learn anything new this week. Jags is busy, and I get that. Work can wear your ass out, man. You don't need barbecue chips. I'm at Applebee's eating chicken fettuccine. Oh, God, that's actually good shit. I haven't even eaten yet. Shocked. Thought you were thought you were shy. Man, I've had it suggested that I needed to learn how to be shy, but it's not in my DNA. I don't know. I guess when I was born, the shy gene um, kind of didn't get put in there, you know. I used to tell people jokingly all the time in my younger years, God made me to offend you, so, hang on tight. That's probably what I'm going to do. Not purposely, but it happens, yeah. So. Yep, sausage. Oh, Jesus Christ, Ken. You're eating Oreos and drinking Sam Adams. Okay, not to change the subject, Tansy, but I gotta ask this because I tried that when I was younger. I don't drink anymore. Okay. Uh, no, no, Okie. I seriously don't believe that because, look, man, I have tried to be politically correct. It doesn't work for me. I've tried to be nice, and for the most part, my attitude is I want people to just be themselves. right? I'm not their judge. I'm not their jury. I'm not their executioner. I don't care what people do. It's their life. It belongs to you. Live it the way you want it. My point is, if that's what you want to do with your time, look, that's great. But man, don't bring that to my channel. Don't bring that to a show that everybody enjoys doing because it just ruins the show. Uh, I don't drink anymore. You don't drink any less. Yeah, but I had a bad attitude when I drank, and that basically said, hey, man, maybe it's best to put the shit down. So that's what I did. In real life, it's one of those things that says, hey, man, I could go to that party, but then I'm probably going to get aggravated or do something stupid that I shouldn't do. Maybe you just shouldn't drink. So, shit, almost 70. I can have a couple if I want them. No, I just want to know, like, how do you get the flavor of the Oreo to mix with the flavor of the beer? Right? I tried that when I was younger. I couldn't do it, literally. Like, I used to drink beer, and if I would eat a cookie with it, it tasted weird. I couldn't do it. You always assume most of you are able to change was your depends. And even that would be questionable at times. Very funny, Okie. That's another $2 fine for you, sir. You dip Oreos in water? I've never heard of that either. I really haven't. Everything goes with beer. Well, I guess it could. I've never been a big fan of Oreos. It's like chocolate, but it don't quite taste like chocolate. I wish it was 0%. I'd drink it only, well, other than that and coffee. Yeah, I can't get rid of my coffee. I can't function without my coffee. When I stream, guys, I want you guys to come in, laugh, joke, have fun. But don't cross characters. Not everything, on my channel is going to be Neighbors. In fact, Neighbors is being moved to Backwoods. Because to me, it's an upload and it kind of gets hidden in Jags' channel. It kind of gets hidden in mine. And it's because we're more known for live streaming. Fuck. Okay, I was wrong. That literally did scare the shit out of me, and I'm not even playing a game. Fuck, I got goosebumps. All right, Okie, you got me. The vanilla one. They make vanilla Oreo? Yeah, I am outdated. Yes, it worked. Thank you for the tip, Go. It definitely worked. I really want to try like a scary Santa Claus one, for the holiday season. I don't even know if they have one. I don't even know where to look. But I don't want to bother Jags with that. Not this week. I know he's got a lot of stuff. If you got to put lights up at work, because I used to actually decorate my house years ago, man, that's time consuming. And you do got to do it at night. You can't test the damn lights if you can't see the damn lights. Yeah, I know. I don't know what's causing that. I can't find it, but I've been trying not to bother you because I know you got long hours. I tried to call you last night, but I didn't know if you were on the phone with somebody else or sleeping. I try to time it where I think, okay, he's got a moment, then I can call. Because I have a lot of questions, like how do you do these links? How do I put the credits on those edits? Because I don't know how to do it. I can find the text section, but I don't know how to get the letters to appear. You have to do it at home. Oh, your yard looks like Disneyland. You should send me a picture of that, seriously. Well, that's the thing. I don't get mad when you don't answer. I figure you're either sleeping, you're at work, or you're doing something. Look, we all get that. That's my whole point. We all got YouTube. All right, if you're a streamer, you got YouTube. But behind YouTube, there's a real life. There's real issues that you have to address. You may not want to, but hey, man, adulting ain't easy, and it happens. Now, if I offended anyone here, seriously, I apologize. This stream, this discussion was not meant to offend. But at the same token, you got to think about some of the things you do. Hawks, do you need a bathroom break after that? Actually, I do. And in fact, I'm going to pause my mic and go take one. I'm also going to contemplate why I'm doing that, exactly why I'm suddenly having these issues with my audio. Because I'm hoping that don't mean I need another set of headphones. In real life, I'm not back to work. And trust me, that weighs on my mind a lot more than you think. I don't get to escape my responsibilities, my friend, but it is my way of having fun and relaxing and getting a few smiles in.
Honey, you want a Jolly Rancher?
I'm back. See, you kind of curse me. It's time for everyone to talk crap. Yeah, even after editing, the noise is messed up. Yeah, I don't know what's causing that. I didn't even know that was going on. Desktop audio, mute, output, and desktop audio. Also disabled to mic on your camera. Done. Well, I'll have to have you show me that because, to my knowledge, my camera mic should be disabled. It shouldn't be on at all. I don't know why it seems low to you, Moni. I mean, I don't. Usually, I don't get a lot of people message me going, "There's something wrong with your." Sometimes it's like, I don't want to hear you breathe, but then I got to put the mic next to my mouth in order for you guys to hear me, and then I have a microphone thing tells me where I'm at. You know, I try to keep it like just by the yellow because you don't want to blow somebody's ear off. You know. Windows updates. Oh shit, yeah. And I had one of those in our last recording when one of the characters was having issues with ping. I think it was because I literally had a Windows update going on while we were trying to record, which was kind of weird. And the last subject I want to talk about, because now that me and Jags are partners, I'm absolutely confident a certain somebody is going to show their ugly head in there. And again, I generally don't try to make this my business, but at this point, I don't know. It could be, Megan. That's possible. It's slowly going to become my business, and my version of handling that is not the same as everybody else. His name is Steven, but I'm positive he's going to rear his ugly head in there one way or another. I'm going to be very outspoken about this, and again, I don't say things to offend people. I say things because in my mind they're true, and it's how I handle problems. So, I'm going to address that before this moron makes his way over there because it's just a matter of time. Number one, I don't think he's worth a pimple on my ass cheek, okay? He is equivalent to a 5-year-old shit stain in their underwear. Equivalent to a guy that's looking at a Barbie calling it his girlfriend. He's harmless. He's a keyboard warrior at best. He's got a loud mouth. He does his homework. He doesn't do it very well, I might add. He relies on a response because, well, that's what every dickhead relies on is a response. He's a troll. He is not worth your attention, my attention, Jags's attention, or anyone else's attention. He's not a conversation in Discord because if you give him that conversation, you're giving him what he wants, right? Don't give him what he wants. He's nothing more than a shit stain in a 5-year-old's underwear. In other words, he stinks. He's a troll. But he's not a real threat to anybody, and I can prove it. A lot of you don't know my background, and I'm not going to give you my background. The only thing I'll tell you is I'm very familiar with idiots. Okay? Very familiar. This guy is a walking idiot. If he was a real threat, one, after all this time, he would have made a move. And the reason he's not making a move is because he's just not capable. And I can prove that too. Because if he really wanted to talk to me, I'd give that more on my address and directions, and then I would go pour myself a cup of coffee and watch my TV. And you know why I would do that? Because no matter what comes out of his mouth, his punk ass ain't showing up. It's the response he wants. If he thinks he's scaring you, he continues. If he thinks he's hurting your feelings or getting under your skin, he continues. Guys, he's a shit stain in a 5-year-old's underwear that in his free time apparently is in the basement humping a Barbie doll. Seems a bit worthless to me. Actually, now that I think about it, he seems completely worthless to me. We all get trolls. I haven't had one in a while. Must be my outlandish personality, I guess. Either I don't attract them or I just don't give them the attention they want. I don't really know. Now that I think about it, I don't really care. I don't have a lot of interest in them. Unfortunately for whoever they may be, they're not getting my attention. But I think everybody has to, at some point come to the realization that this guy has, probably 1,000 different names he comes in under. He's not hard to spot. If you're a mod, click the name. If you see no subscribers and it's usually a rude comment, 9 out of 10 chances that would be him. But it doesn't mean you gotta respond to him. I am a troll, and that's just offensive. You're a troll? Well, hell, Boof, you didn't even tell anybody. I really wanted to do that game again. I really wanted to do that Nomad army because it's very confusing, right? There's no jobs. You don't get any missions. They all have question marks by it. So, yeah, I agree with that. And that's kind of what I do, other than I'll embarrass him. I'll call him a Barbie humper because I don't give him a response to anything he says. He's not worth a response. I just call him a Barbie doll humper. I'd call him a shit stain in a 5-year-old's underwear, with the exception of, well, then you got to put a cuss word in there, and I don't really want to do that, so I don't. But that's kind of, that's my opinion of him. Like you're like a shit stain in some 5-year-old's underwear that didn't learn how to wipe their ass yet. Kind of worthless to me. I put no value in that, And it's stupid in a sense because like he's given a channel interaction, so it's that like it's total stupid. It's stupid thinking like I'm gonna go after this person. Urgh. But like if you're in there, right, and then you comment, you're actually adding to the comment section of reactions to a video. So like the dumb part is he's actually helping the channel. Oh, play the package again, man. That was a damn, for $4.99, Okie. That had to be the best game for the money I think I've ever seen. If you want to keep a troll around, well, sometimes you can convert trolls just by confronting them. Like sometimes they and I've seen that in your channel too, Ken, because I've watched you for quite a while when I could. And man, I've seen trolls come into yours. I've seen you joke with them, give them shit, give it right back. And then the weird part is they literally stuck around. Unfortunately, this is a different, kind of troll. What about Madison? I don't have that game. And it's not that I don't want to try it. It's not that I don't want to play it. In real life, guys, my work is not working, okay? There's something wrong. It's more than likely going to be the government going, hey, let's redo these contracts. And they would do that because you got to renew them every January anyway. So I think they're looking at it going, well, the government was closed. We had to do this, and plus the cost. Well, yeah, that's true. There was the cost of depends, there was always that. No, I was going to get it. And then, the government didn't reopen and they looked like they were going to reopen. Then they waited till after the weekend to reopen. Then they reopened and I'm thinking, good. I get to go back to work only to find out not quite yet. In real life, it's a little stress. Okay, but it's not something you don't have to deal with. Like I don't want people thinking, oh, let's come to the sheriff's rescue. Look, take care of yourselves, all right? I can take care of what I need to one way or another, but it don't mean it's not stressful when you got to look at it and go, okay, this is going on. What would you do? That would not work with this one. No, that wouldn't work with that one. That's a given. That's what I mean. He's a different kind of troll. He kind of has, I think, in my mind, two specific targets. And I'm not going to give any names, but yeah, he definitely has two. Um, I think it's he's what you call an internet stalker would be more like it to me. That if I had to describe him, I would say that's what he is, a little bitch boy that hides down in mommy's basement, or maybe he lives by himself and he's hiding in the corner of his little room. And I think his biggest excitement probably is what he does, and of course, humping a Barbie. I think that's something that he's just like I said, he's a shit stain in a little kid's underwear that mommy didn't teach to wipe his ass yet. Or her ass. It doesn't really matter. Or maybe he's like the pull up, like when you're potty training your kid and they just miss, you know. He's one of those. He's what ends up in a pull up. Now I got to delete all this again because they just don't shut up. I wish they would though. They just don't. But, again, if you're mad, don't get mad. Listen and understand, okay? You guys got to understand something. I am 58 years old. Yeah, he likes to. You're going to hump a Barbie there, bored old fart? I have two versions of my life. I have my YouTube version, and then I got to deal with this problem. So I do. I don't know about Black Forest. I haven't quite talked to the guy that created it, mostly because he kind of really offended me when it was leave YouTube and go to Twitch, and I don't think Twitch is all that great. I don't think Twitch is all that bad. I wouldn't mind streaming on both, but I'll be perfectly clear. I don't care if I lost 100 subs. I'm not leaving YouTube. Well, if you haven't said a joke today, Moni, go ahead and spit one out. That don't mean I hate Twitch. It means I am a YouTube streamer, okay? Maybe I make it. Maybe I don't. But to me, it's more about the community than it is the numbers, okay? I'd love to see 500. Am I going to stare at that number? No, I'm not, because it takes away from my ability to figure out what I want to do next to have fun in my free time. Dual streaming on YouTube is coming soon with chats linked. Don't they? I think, aren't they taking that stuff from Twitch, kind of? I think what it is YouTube is trying to add features that Twitch has. That's what it seems like. It may not be the case. I could be wrong, so yeah, I don't really know. But that's possible. But I need you guys to understand, I'm 58 years old. Next month, I'm going to be 59. Yes, that's right. I'm not quite a Christmas baby, but, well, close to it. About as close to it as you could frickin' get. We can see when you're clothed, Ken. Hate to burst your bubble. That one, no, it's more of a TikTok. Oh, battling. Well, I guess that could be because I really am not familiar with TikTok. I don't have TikTok. It's to me, I got in there once, and man, that has to be the most toxic place I think I've ever seen. Like, if you really wanted to get offended, just watch TikTok. Some of them are good, and some of them are funny. Some of them are the biggest pile of crap I've ever watched in my life, and it's like, what the hell am I watching, and why am I watching it? I can already do that through. Well, yeah, but you're using something else. Yeah, Restream. But I guess they're bringing that to YouTube. And there's another point I want to make, too. Look, there are some things happening in YouTube. Like right now, I see a bunch of ads, okay? I don't really care for it. But there's no way you're going to turn it off, right? No. That was way before my time. I'm not that old yet. Vertical format and regular format. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So you could actually have them both in there. I don't know anything about Restream. I know that's what he uses. But I don't set that up. I started the Korean War. I could have. That means I probably ate chili before I was born, farted, and it came through the clouds and gave everybody a bad mood. Now, that could have happened. Then again, I don't know. Maybe it didn't. But here's what I want from everybody. If you're watching Neighbors, enjoy the characters. All right? That's what they are. They're characters. But then remember, there's also the other character. So, like, if you're watching someone stream and they're streaming a game, that is about that game, right? That joke. The whole world is not about one thing, right? Like, I don't want my only name to be, hey, he's one of the creators of Neighbors. And the truth is, there's two creators of Neighbors. That's myself and Jags. Now, as the story goes, other people put in input too. Fireball has put in some some ideas. I've had plenty of ideas from people, and ideas are great. I'm not telling you don't have ideas. I'm telling you quit trying to alter the storyline because you have a crush. The storyline's not going to change. So YouTube natively free will be such a cool thing to have.
You find one?
I don't know if they're ever going to give you free will there because they like there's I don't understand like if you're doing a crime show, okay, and I don't do them, all right, but they're on YouTube, right? Like they have to say SA instead of what it is. Like it don't exist for some reason, and people are apparently too young to know what the hell that means, right? Seems a little bit asinine to me. If it's what it is and you're doing a crime show, right? Why can't you say that word?
And it got. Sometimes if it gets hot in here.
If you live under the guise of free speech, and again, this ain't politics, this is just common sense.
Sometimes you gotta keep them in the ice.
Things have a name for a reason. But now you're stuck with abbreviations because YouTube will look at it and go, hey now, I know you're doing a crime show and I know that happened, but you better not put that part in there. How do you get the story out if you can't say what the story is? How do you do that? Not sure about free will, but you can't do a free willy on YouTube. It's copyrighted. I don't want to get into their copyright thing, right? I'm still going through that with Black Forest. Like, I guess where he's from, them songs got approved by YouTube. Now, here's what YouTube don't tell him. They approved it there, not here. So if I go into one of his POIs with that music, on his end, there's no copyright. But on my end, it always gets copyrighted. Now, I'm not a paid channel, so obviously that's not really going to have much of an effect on me other than YouTube could go, I'm tired of all your copyrights and then delete my channel. You know, guess they could do that. But I don't like purposely want the copyrights. But he has it set up to where when you go in there, I've turned the music off and it's still there. Like, I can't turn the music off. I figured that out.
Nope.
So I don't understand the whole copyright thing. I was doing the Wild West mod and I hit the piano and it played this song that's got to be a couple of 100 years old. You know, it's like really, really old. And believe it or not, some jackass, some ass monkey, greedy for other people's money, that actually allowed this into the mod, decided it was okay to go ahead and copyright anybody that hit that piano. Wow. Sometimes you just have to add credit to the artist. I could if I knew who the artist was, but I don't even know who the artist is because that's like disco. And honestly, guys, man, I was pure rock and roll. There was no disco for me, you know. But how do you find out who the artist is? Like, who is the artist? Um, in there, I don't even know. I don't even know who the original artist or who the current owner of that old piano thing is in the Wild West mod. Now, if I play it, I just don't go anywhere near the piano and hit play because it'll give you that like really old Western thing that's in movies all the time. You know, it should tell you who. No, it don't. He put it in there, but I don't know who it is. A lot of artists, you have to do that. I mean, I'm guessing you do. As I was thinking about that too. Like, there's another channel I want to do called "Is It Real?" And it's just about small clips, basically, that just has to do with things that we question, like whether or not they're real, like these so-called stories behind a Ouija board. Are they actually real? You know? And if so, do you believe them? And if so, why do you believe them? Like, give me your story, and then we'll do another clip about your story. Is Bigfoot real? Right? How do we know? Here's a little truth for you. We don't. But it's something I've wanted to do. The channel's set up. I just haven't done anything with it because, again, I haven't learned credits. Go into the mod and replace the sound files with legal sounds. Just change the names to your files you're replacing. I got to learn how to do that. I literally had to have someone walk me through that as to how to do that, and now I have forgotten because I haven't done files in so long, and I didn't do them because I didn't need to anymore. They actually put the Wasteland mod on the mod launcher, only now I can't get it to work. I would love to stream that mod. It's a great mod. I'd like to do a multiplayer with it, but I can't even get it to work. And I went through my computer 4 or 5 times, and I can't find whatever's stopping it from working. But I know it works because it works for MDK. It works for Christy, but it don't work for me. So, I don't know, Maybe it does. Maybe it don't. Who knows? And anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I've talked about everything I wanted to talk about. And again, before I go, look, this ain't meant to irritate people. It's not meant to call you out. It is meant to say, man, let your personal shit go. It's YouTube, doesn't belong on here. Don't cross characters. Keep this in mind. And it's my fault in a way because the channel name itself is Sheriff Hawks. The brand is Sheriff Hawks. Now, at the same token, when we started Neighbors, I just kept Sheriff Hawks because it was actually I've been creating this story in my mind for a long time. For those of you that don't know, when I was with the previous channel, I was literally trying to get my partner at that time to get into things like this, and it started with something we were calling The Walking Dread. It just didn't work. This storyline isn't new. It's been in my head for a long time. Behind the scenes, I am a very creative person. And my concentration is always comedy. Right? I mean, I have a reputation for turning a horror game into a comedy. When you can. I've seen a few that, trust me, you're not altering that storyline, No, it ain't got nothing to do with Jesse. It has to do with what I believe is a crush that kind of makes its way from real life right into the characters. Now, again, I don't care about crushes. I really don't. I guess at my age, that my stage of crushing is long since over. The more I think about it, I don't think I've ever even really had one. I don't know how I would react if I had one. Don't care. At my age, it's not really relevant anyway. If I was supposed to have one, to me, I would have had one a long time ago. I want them to like the character of Jesse. What I don't want is people coming into a live stream going, hey, you can just go on and be Reverend Hawks and then act like you're not damaging a channel when you're doing that on a live stream, and I'm not even streaming Neighbors. It's like this constant push from one particular individual, which is get rid of the sheriff, get rid of the sheriff. Look, this is not a happening thing. The sheriff ain't going anywhere. Because that's what the channel's built on. And then not to realize that people could be lurking going, oh, man, I really don't like this guy. I'm not subscribing to him. You're not helping the channel. You're doing it harm. And I get it. It's meant in the name of humor. But if your humor is based on a crush in real life, then the only thing you're doing is bringing real life into something that don't belong there in the first place. The other issue is this crush is on a person that ain't even single. Seems a bit stupid to me, but that's my opinion. And that's not that I'm calling a person stupid. I'm calling the action itself stupid. But you guys got to understand something. I'm a little older than most of you. I don't believe in online dating. I don't believe YouTube is a dating site. I know I'm not a dating site. I can tell everybody that right now. That is not what I am. I'm an entertainment channel. If you're looking for a guy or you feel the need to flirt and crush, do that on your time. I've never believed in internet dating because it just doesn't seem that safe to me. Like, how do you know who you're really speaking to? You know what I mean?
Could be a serial killer.
I mean, you don't know who that person is.
Could be a serial killer.
Well, that or they could have an STD come to your house and, hey, they gave you a gift that keeps on giving, you know? At least till you take that pill or something.
Or a serial killer. You never know these days.
Even though he was a Beagle Scout. I always joke with you and call you the Girl Scout, but that has to do with that game you played, that Silent Hill. What's the letter behind that again? I keep forgetting. F. Where you're kind of in like one of them little dresses, and if you think about it, like it looks like some of the uniforms they used back in the day, you know. Well, there's another notification that I'm not going to watch. Yeah, F. It was like the way they made you dress it. I was like, oh man, that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, a little humor without doing any damage to anyone at all. I love humor. If you got humor, man, bring me humor. But it needs to be humor. Like when we work on Neighbors, right? All I do is tell you guys each episode where the storyline's headed, and your character, because that's what method acted is to take that character, put him in that situation, and that's the fun of it. That's the comedy of it, right? You can't keep comedy if you got someone that's thinking, "Oh, I really think this person is cute. I like them. Well, I don't like the way the story's going because I don't get this out of the story." It's a story. You're not going to get jack shit out of that story except one thing: play your character. Yeah, I guess you could, Megan. It's just you got to understand there's like an age gap between me and the younger generation, you know? Like I know they do it cuz I mean there's stuff on YouTube all the time about internet dating and which sites are good and all that crap. I ignore it because look, in my day, you went out and you met someone and sometimes it went good and then, sometimes it didn't. And sometimes your friends would set you up on a blind date and trust me, that's a storyline all in itself right there. But sometimes even they went all right. I think if you talk to a person enough, you get to know them enough, you know? But my point with YouTube is like, right, you meet all kinds of personalities on YouTube. I know I do. I've met all kinds of people. I mean, Kimmy comes all the way from Scotland. Her culture to me is fascinating because I love other cultures, okay? Blind dates are horrible. I've only had one that I've had. I think on my younger years, I went on about five to help out, friends of mine. I only had one that went decent that I didn't go home and go, why did I do that? The other four were like, oh, Jesus, what the? Oh, I'm not. I always told myself, like, I'm not doing that again. And then yeah, your friend would come to you, please, man, I gotta have something for her friend. I'm like, son of a bitch. So you'd feel bad for him, and you'd do it, and then, most of the time it's like, why am I here? I don't want to be here. But you do, and you can meet people. Like I talked to Monique for years. I've talked to Jags for years. I've talked to Ken for years, and yeah, I feel like I know them, right? But here's the thing: if you ask me how many times I've been to their house and had a cup of coffee, the answer would be
None.
what, none. Wouldn't happen. I don't know how what I would do if like somebody I met on YouTube like came and knocked on my door, you know? Like I think that would kind of make me pause and go, "Hey, wait a minute." Stated to move away from us in the restaurant. Really? That's got to be like a really bad blind date there, Monique. If you're on a blind date and you got people in the restaurant going, "Let's get the fuck away from that table," I would say that ranked pretty high up. My biggest problem when I was younger was like that big hurry to say things like "I love you." No, you just met me. You don't fucking love me, so let's not get into that shit, right? And again, it's not to insult women. I don't want you guys to think I'm a sexist. I'm not. But women are different than men in many senses, right? Like in some cases, women, whatever their reasons, seem to like drama. But I'm a guy. I guess some guys like drama too. I don't deal with drama very well. I have a tendency to step on its throat. I just don't like it. I think it's stupid, right? Then you have jealousy. Now, that's not a woman thing. That's a man and a woman thing. Like people get jealous. And my version of jealous is, hey, she's with me, go fuck yourself. Simple as that. That's how I handle jealousy. Yes, we are all emotionally insane. No, it's an age gap thing, is what it is, Megan. Is I think the old school way, okay? And to me, and I don't mean this to offend anybody, to me, the old school way is much better than this so called new school way where nobody really deals with anything. It just keeps getting drug out and drug out. And I sit there and I look at it and I'm like, why is this even dragging out in the first place? In my day, like if I was with a girl, right, and then some other guy had a crush on my girl, my method of handling that would have been, you do know she's with me, fucktard. Move your ass on. My other response would be, look, if you really like her, you can try for it. I did that. This is a true story. I took my wife out to a bar, and we were going there to have a drink. And I was going to the bathroom, and this guy goes, "Hey, I'm gonna go over there and steal your woman." Now I could have been the jealous type, I suppose, but I wasn't. I looked at him and said, "Well, she's sitting over there. Good luck." When I went to the bathroom, now obviously there's a line because this was a not just a regular bar; it was pretty fucking packed. When I came back, that guy was literally sitting at the table, and I just looked at him and said, "You can do what you want. Pretty sure she's going home with me." Didn't take very long before he got up and left. Because unlike most people, guys, I'm not shy. I don't have, there's no shame in my game because to me, it's not game. I'm being me. I hate that saying, got any game? Well, if I'm playing a game, sure I do. But if I'm with somebody, I'm with them. There's no game to it. I'm sure the other guy thought he was playing a game. 20 years ago, before that date, I'd have probably punched him in the face. But, you get older, you think things through, and I'm like, no, because to me, like, if the woman leaves with him, well, then I never had that woman in the first place. That just saved me a fucking headache. At least then I know, well, obviously she'd rather have him. There you go. Good to go. Move on. Next one, please. And that's a true story. That actually happened. Do I care? Not really. Did he offend my wife? Not really. We weren't even married at the time. We weren't married then, was we? Nah,
No, we were dating.
we were dating. But I mean, that's the difference in age group. Like, this is how we handled things, and then you have the way people handle things today, which to me just seems like a lot of people just don't handle things today. And it's like, wow, just deal with the situation and don't be shy about it. Like, I get that a lot too. Like, um, you know, I'm shy. Look, God gave you a voice for a reason. Use it. Shy means no one gets to know how you feel, no one knows what you think, and in turn, nobody really knows you. So don't be shy. Speak your mind. And if they get offended by what you said, hey man, they wasn't your friend to begin with. It's the same thing on here. You got two people you deal with. Well, basically on YouTube, just one, because I'm only ever going to give you the character, okay? Except for streams like this. And you're going to get to know a little bit about the Sheriff Hawks behind the Hawks. Hawks is actually my real Indian name. So it's not a fake name. Sheriff is a fake title. Obviously, I am not. I love that when I get that in my stream. Are you a real sheriff? Oh boy. No. Well, I was a federal officer, but I just said I don't want to get into my past. But a sheriff? I never even worked for a sheriff's department. Never. So, no, I'm not a sheriff. I've had people literally DM me and go, man, are them fines real? No, they're jokes. Obviously, it's YouTube. I can't get on there and go, you have to pay me to watch me. No, you don't. The fines are meant as humor. Some people use them and they use it as a reason to tip. And hey, that's great. When you guys tip, it helps the channel out, especially one that's, I'm not a monetized channel, so I'm not getting paid. Clearly, I'm doing this because I enjoy it. Would I like to be paid? Yeah, only membership. I don't want to be paid from ads. I really don't. To me, they take away from the stream, and then you guys got to miss something because they got to pop an ad in there. They don't really get paid for ads. I don't see why I would want ads. And I've noticed that about Jags, and I've respected him for years for it, is he doesn't have ads. He could, but he don't. And, you don't really get paid for them, so why fucking have them? But anyway, I've spoken my mind. I'm going to work on pushing, obviously, Backwoods Gaming. It's new. I would like to see it take off and put everything I got into that, but I'm not going to, abandon my channel either. I'm going to keep going. If people are here, they're here. Yeah, I hope people continue to come. If not, then they're not. But understand there's a difference between a character. Sheriff Hawks is a character for Sheriff Hawks Gaming. Sheriff Hawks is another character for Neighbors. And sometimes even the Reverend Hawks does pop up. But that's not the brand. It's not the channel name. The channel brand is Sheriff Hawks. And it goes right into the name. I could change it. The truth is, I had a channel called Mental State Gaming, and between me, you, and a fence post, guys, I loved that name. Still do. But I gave it to someone else, and I hope that person uses it, because I think she would be a hell of a streamer. And I hope one day to see her stream. Definitely has the right personality for it, or at least I think. But again, that's just my opinion, and it doesn't mean you go anywhere. I'm no expert on those matters. If I was, then I'd be looking at, whatever thousands of subscribers I would have that I don't have. I do it for fun. And maybe it's for some people. Maybe some people pop in and go, oh, I don't want to pop into his channel because he's not big enough to help me. You got channels like that too, Like, I'm going to go over there because he can help me. You have something to say? Okay, well, say it. We are uploading the old. Well, yes, I definitely want to get into that. I ain't figured out how to do that yet, but um, apparently episode 2 on mine is pretty bad. I didn't know that. I've never done a playback of it. My favorite episode to me is, well, actually, I got quite a few, but I do love the first one. I think that played so well. It was a clear indication that we were on to something.
Oh.
Yeah, that's true too, because it's going to lower the views.
Yeah, it's getting a little chilly.
Welcome back, Monique. But again, guys, don't get offended by what comes out of my mouth. I don't think any of you are emotionally disturbed, okay, or insane. I don't. Uh,
Getting a little chilly, you see, you guys.
but y'all got to understand, like I'm 58, okay. I can't think like a 40-year-old because I'm not a 40-year-old. That was like so many fucking years ago, you know. When Hoss locked up Jesse, that was a good episode, well played. There was issues in it on their end, but you know what?
We're getting chilly too, ain't we,
Um,
girl?
the end product was excellent, and I thoroughly enjoyed that episode. Very well played. They had to alter a few things, which was to me very well done. There's things that go on behind the scenes that you guys don't know, and sometimes it takes a little work. Like you got to alter that character as fast as you can because you're recording. You're 21 for life. I wish I was, but I'm not.
Who's 21 for life?
Ken.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Until eventually we're just not here anymore. I think about those things too, especially now. I didn't think about them when I was younger, and that's weird. You're young, you think you're invincible, and you don't think about those things till you get older, and then it's like, now you got to start thinking about those things. I guess that's the grown up part of life, right? And these things I say, like, again, they're not meant to offend people. They're meant to tell you to take your personal feelings, your personal lives, get them the hell out of my chat. Okay? If you got a crush, get it out of my chat. And for one, when you do that, you're making other people uncomfortable. Why do that in the first place? Grow up. Do better. That'd be equivalent to me finding a new streamer and it ends up being a girl, right? And then she's cute. And I decide because she's cute that I have now got a crush on her. Well, one, that wouldn't make a lot of sense because, like, let's pretend for a moment I'm not married, right? Still be kind of fucking creepy because I don't know her. I just found her channel. She's got a camera on. Oh, fuck, she's cute. But that's a stalker. Now let's say the girl ain't single and I'm still doing it anyway. I feel bad for her. Well, actually, if I was doing it, I guess I wouldn't. Because I guess if you're doing it, you don't think about those things. Because now she's got to go talk to her boyfriend and he ain't happy. Why is this guy doing this? It ends up being an argument. So basically, that action's creating an argument. You're not in the argument, you're literally causing the argument. Seems a little bit stupid to me. I did like the Jesse talking. I did like that too. That's a new feature. I don't know how you do that. Like, do you just voice over that section or what? I did have that happen to me once, Jags, but or not sorry, Ken, but I shut that down so fast it was like it didn't happen. I did have a female that had a crush on me years ago when I started streaming, said something highly inappropriate in my chat, and that got eliminated as fast as it happened. One, because I'm married. I'm not on YouTube to get a girlfriend. Um, I'm married. I've been married for 25 years. I'm not looking for someone else. If I was looking for someone else, then I certainly wouldn't be on YouTube. I would be out that door looking for someone else. But I'm not. The truth is, if Mrs. Hawks left me or passed away, I'm not getting remarried. And I'm not dating either. Most people don't understand. When you've been with someone as long as I've been with her, could you imagine me meeting someone new and then every time she does something, well, that's not what it's not what the wife used to do, right? Kind of unfair to them because then they got to go through the I'm not her, you know? Well, yeah, but she used to do that. Yeah, I don't want to hear what she used to do. See what I mean? Doesn't seem like that works out well to me. Plus, I'm not the lonely kind of guy. I can live by myself. Don't bother me a damn bit.
On the ashtray, I couldn't see it.
Never has. I'm that guy, the weirdo. You have somebody great, you don't. That's fine too. I don't care. As long as I get to be me, I'm happy. I want you guys to be you. Yeah, you got to add voice. See, I don't know how to do that either. But I was wondering about that. I'm like, he didn't say. I didn't remember some of them things. Like when I watched that episode, I didn't remember like what you had said. Right? I remember you saying that in it. And I don't even know if we redid that episode because mine didn't record. I had a Windows update. It changed some settings. Obviously, it's changed my mic too, which now I got to wait till Jags is free and learn how to do that shit because I don't know what settings it did, but it fucked something up. And I apologize, guys. I didn't even know. Anyway, I keep trying to end this, and then we get into another conversation. So I am going to go ahead and end it. I hope you guys, like I said, have fun. I hope you have a good weekend. It's not quite over unless you're in Australia. I guess it's over there. For them, it's Sunday, right? Going on Monday. Hopefully I get back to work soon. And hopefully I can learn these other things when editing that I got editing. I just don't have put the credits in, and I don't understand the voiceover. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. If you don't, I apologize if you got offended. Again, I apologize. Having said that, it doesn't mean I don't mean what I say. Because believe it or not, I mean exactly what I said. But I'm going to give you to the outro because I am out of here. Talk to you guys later. Bye.